You can be organized, disciplined, methodical, and still live in a space that feels constantly cluttered. Not obvious chaos, not dirt, but a low level. Permanent disorder, quiet, almost invisible, yet strangely exhausting. And what if that disorder was not a personal failure? Not a lack of willpower, but the direct result of very specific objects. Objects found in almost every home. Objects that were never really designed to be stored properly. In this video, we're going to look at 10 of them, understand why they create clutter, what they truly cost, not just in money, but in time, in space, in mental energy, and most importantly, how to change the environment so the clutter stops rebuilding itself. And stay until the end, because the last one is the reason all the others keep coming back. Let's start with something everyone owns. Cables. No one really knows how many cables they have. They arrive with every device. They stay long after the device is gone. And they end up grouped together in a drawer, a box, or a tech bag. The real issue is not the quantity. It's the lack of identity. A cable with no clear purpose cannot be stored properly. Every time you look for one, there's hesitation, trial and error. Sometimes an unnecessary repurchase, even though the solution was already there. What actually changes things is introducing a simple rule. No cable stays without a known use, a divided container, a quick label, and anything unidentified leaves the system. The day I applied that rule, I didn't just gain space. I removed a small but constant mental friction. And the same mechanism appears elsewhere. In a different form. Paper. A single document is never a problem. But documents never arrive alone. They come continuously, with no sense of urgency, and slowly pile up until they become visual noise. Every stack represents a postponed decision. And every postponed decision occupies mental space. What truly makes a difference is giving paper a very clear path. One entry point, 3 possible states, nothing more. Once that circuit exists, the piles stop performing. Now let's move to something far more visible. Shoes, they're worn every day, but rarely put away immediately. The floor becomes a temporary zone. And temporary zones always turn permanent. Over time, this means more cleaning. A sense of disorder the moment you walk in, and a subtle daily tension. What shifts the balance is not better organizing, but reducing what stays visible. Only the shoes that are truly in use remain accessible. Everything else disappears out of season, out of sight. Simply reducing the number of visible pairs instantly changes how the space feels. Same principle, different context. Tools. They're designed for action, not for storage. Once the task is done, they're placed somewhere temporarily, and temporary often lasts for months. Over time, you search, you hesitate, you buy duplicates. And the garage or storage room slowly becomes unclear. What actually works here is visibility. When every tool has a visible place, putting it back becomes almost automatic. Anything without a defined place eventually turns into clutter. And now the most universal object of all. The clothing chair. It isn't furniture. It's a suspended decision. Clothes wait there, with no clear status. Not clean, not dirty, day after day. This creates permanent visual clutter. And a quiet feeling of never being finished. What resolves this is not more discipline, but removing the gray zone entirely. Remove the chair. Replace it with a clear alternative, a few wall hooks, a strict limit. When the zone disappears, the problem disappears with it. The same logic applies under the sink. Cleaning products. Each one promises a perfect solution. And over time they multiply. The cabinet fills up, duplicates appear, and the space becomes saturated. This ties up money, takes up room, and forces unnecessary choices. What simplifies everything is returning to a few versatile products, grouped in a single movable container. Fewer choices often mean more efficiency. Now let's look at intermittent objects. They're never fully stored, because they're never truly finished. They move from place to place, recreating clutter continuously. What helps here is giving them a clearly defined temporary home, transparent bins, regular rotation. Once something leaves your visual field, it stops occupying your mind. There are also the objects we never really count. Reusable bags, each one feels harmless. But their accumulation is fast. Closets fill up before you even notice. What works is setting an explicit limit, a maximum number, and compact folding. Constraint creates order. Now let's move to the entryway. Everything that arrives passes through here, but almost nothing leaves on its own. Day after day, this becomes a visual stress point. The moment you walk in, reducing drop surfaces, and keeping only one, completely changes the dynamic. A clear entryway sets the tone for the entire day. And finally, the central issue: objects waiting for a decision. They aren't really objects, they're frozen decisions. And as long as they stay frozen, the clutter stays too. What unlocks the situation is giving them a time frame. A single decision box and a clear deadline. When a decision has an end date, it stops weighing on you. Clutter is not a discipline problem, it's a design problem. Every object without a clear place automatically becomes a source of chaos. If this video helped you see your space differently, subscribe. Here we don't organize more, we think better.